So when your piece is finished, you need to use some of your scraps and warm those up again. Put your ring carefully to one side where you're not going to bump it or mark it or put a dent in it. And then I need to roll out a sheet of clay that's bigger by at least 2 centimeters than my ring and is about 3 millimeters thick. So I'm going to use my Perspex rolling pin. That seems okay. Now I'm just going to work on smoothing this surface out. The clay that I've laid down on the tile will become the top of the mould, will be the open end of the mould where I'll be able to pour my resin into the silicone mould. So just lightly with your finger rub all over the surface until it's pretty smooth. Then take your jewellery piece, and if like me you have one side that's less perfect than the other, that's the side you should put down, because that will become the top of the mould and you'll do more work on that once you take the resin casting out of the mould. So you want to work your piece so it's attached to the clay, but don't push down on it too heavily, because the clay is soft, you'll disfigure your jewellery piece. So you just want to work on it so you're happy with the shape. Make sure there's no dents, no lumps, no fingerprints. They're as good as you can do. And then you're ready for the next stage. So to create your mould to pour the silicone into, you're going to need a peg, some masking tape, a bit more leftover clay, and some flexible plastic. This is some stuff I've bought from Bunnings. It's called edging guard, but you could probably use some flexible polypropylene, and that's pretty much all you need. So first thing I do is put this around my ring, and you want about a centimetre gap between your ring and the mould or the plastic that you've just done. So when you're happy with the distance, take a peg and just peg it so it holds it in place. Take some of your masking tape and tape the inside of the mould first. Smooth it down as much as you can. The outside's not so important because it won't have any silicone touching it. Take your peg off and then tape this section down as well. So just ensure all the masking tape's down properly. Now I'm going to take that shape and place it back around the ring, and you should be able to see that there is about a centimetre gap all the way around, and if there isn't, just move it so there is. And I'm going to push this into the clay so it should have a fairly good seal. So now I need a smaller piece of clay, and I need to make a snake. And I have my snake. So what I want to do now is start smoothing this down all the way around the bottom, and then I need to smooth it again so that you can't see the join between the snake or the coil that I've just put around the bottom of here and the piece of clay I have rolled out on my tiles. And if there are no gaps, the silicone can't get out, which is the purpose of doing this, to ensure that you've got a watertight seal between the two pieces of clay. I've done all the way around the bottom. I now need to smooth the clay up the sides. And just check again that it's as smooth as possible up the sides. There are no little gaps, just to ensure that the silicone isn't going to leak out. So now I'm ready to mix and pour my silicone, and I'll show you how to do that in the next video.